Hello and welcome to Let's Play Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous Through the Ashes with me, Bring It On. Through the Ashes is the second story DLC released for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous with the release date of April 21st, 2022. This DLC is a parallel to the main story. It takes place during the attack on Kenabres in Act 1 of the main campaign, which means it does not continue the main story, obviously. You don't play as the commander or his companions, and you do not receive mythic powers. Actually, speaking of companions, I believe there's only 2 narrative companions added in this DLC, pictured here. This Caster Gnome and Tiefling Rogue. I'm assuming that it works like Varnhold's Lot from Pathfinder Keymaker, where you have your main character, the 2 narrative companions, and the 3 remaining slots will be filled by mercenaries, either ones you make yourself, or they may have some pre-generated builds for you to select from. Again, I don't know if that's actually how it works yet. We'll find out as we progress through the story. So going forward, the rest of this episode will be nothing but character creation. I'm going to go through and create the character I plan on taking into the campaign, while reading everything in detail. So if that's not your bag of beans, feel free to skip ahead to the next episode, but we'll jump into the actual story. But for now, welcome to Through the Ashes. While the future Knight Commander is fighting their historic battle for the Wardstone and the whole world, the regular people on the burning streets of Kenabres are doing their best to survive. In this additional campaign for low-level characters, you'll see the war through the eyes of common city dwellers, proving that you don't need to be a mythic champion to be a hero. Lead a small group of townsfolk out of captivity to save refuge. Who will you save? Who will you sacrifice? And what grim secrets of the Worldwound have the main campaign's heroes missed? I'll be playing on Core, of course. It's my favorite difficulty. Create a custom character with this portrait. We'll be playing a fighter archetype, the Dragonheir Scion. Dragonheir Scions are the martially inclined humanoid descendants of those influenced by draconic power. Unlike their sorceress brethren, Dragonheir Scions manifest their heritage in ways more suited to strength of arms and skill with steel than arcane energies. Those who follow this path are often the children of mighty dragon-blooded sorcerers, and others who drew energy from their dragon blood, though they themselves might not exhibit spellcasting ability. Class skills include Athletics, Knowledge Arcana, Knowledge World, Lore Nature, Persuasion, and Use Magic Device. Look at these in more detail once we get to the skill screen. So, as an archetype of the fighter class, we do get fighter proficiencies. A fighter is proficient with all simple and martial weapons, and with all armor, heavy, light, and medium, and shields, including tower shields. We do lose the bonus combat feat at level 1, as well as the bonus combat feats at level 4 and 6. We retain the one at level 2, and then all even levels from 8 through 20. So bonus combat feat. At first level, and at every even level thereafter, except for the Dragonheir Scion of course, a fighter gains a bonus feat in addition to those gained from normal advancement, meaning that the fighter gains a feat at every level. These bonus feats must be selected from those listed as combat feats, sometimes also called fighter bonus feats. At level 1 we gain Arcane Strike. Spending a swift action each round, you can imbue your weapons with a fraction of your power. For 1 round, your weapon deals +1 damage and are treated as magic for the purpose of overcoming damage reduction. For every 5 caster levels you possess, this bonus increases by +1, to a maximum of +5 at 20th level. We're not a caster. It's safe to assume that the Dragonheir Scion levels count as caster levels for the purpose of this feat, since it is a staple of the class. So we do lose all levels of Bravery, but at level 2 we gain Fearful Might. At 2nd level, a Dragonheir Scion gains a +1 bonus on persuasion skill checks made to Intimidate. This bonus increases to +2 at 6th level by an additional 1 every 4 fighter levels thereafter, to a maximum of +5 at 18th level. At 5th level we gain Weapon Training, and we retain all levels of Weapon Training. We lose Weapon Mastery at level 20. Which I don't think matters since it's described as a low-level campaign. So I don't think Weapon Mastery or Armor Mastery, forgot to mention that earlier, because we lose Armor Training. That's not going to come into play. So, Weapon Training. Starting at 5th level, a fighter can select 1 group of weapons. Whenever he attacks with a weapon from this group, he gains a +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls. Every 4 levels thereafter, 9th, 13th, and 17th, a fighter becomes further trained in another group of weapons. He gains a +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls when using a weapon from this group. In addition, the bonuses granted by previous weapon groups increase by +1 each. For example, when a fighter reaches 9th level, he receives a +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls with one weapon group, and a +2 bonus on attack and damage rolls with the weapon group selected at 5th level. Bonuses granted from overlapping groups do not stack. Take the highest bonus granted for a weapon if it resides in 2 or more groups. A fighter also adds this bonus to any combat maneuver checks made with weapons from his group. This bonus also applies to the fighter's combat maneuver defense when defending against disarm attempts made against weapons from this group. Basically, you have to choose one weapon to specialize in at 5th level. You get a bonus to that at 9th, 13th, and 17th. And then also at 9th level, you can select a second weapon to specialize in if you want to. Well, you don't have a choice. You have to select a weapon when you level up. You don't have to use it. And you get a bonus to that at 13th and 17th. Also at 6th level, we do gain Draconic Presence. At 6th level, the Dragonheir Scion receives Dazzling Display as a bonus feat. She does not need a weapon in hand to use this ability, and can use it as a standard action. And we also get to select a Draconic Bloodline as a Dragonheir Scion. Each Dragonheir Scion can draw her lineage back to the influence of a great Draconic progenitor. At 1st level, a Dragonheir Scion must select one of the chromatic or metallic dragon types. Once chosen, this cannot be changed. A number of Dragonheir Scion's abilities deal damage and grant resistances based on her dragon type as noted below. If a Dragonheir Scion takes a level in another class that grants a bloodline, the bloodlines must be of the same type, even if that means that the bloodline of one of the classes must change. We'll be playing as a human, and that'll compensate for one of the bonus combat feats that we lose out on at level 1. Humans also get +2 to one ability score. At creation, the character gets a +2 bonus to an ability of their choice. We get a bonus feat at level 1 as a human. So a feat is an ability a character has mastered. Feats often allow characters to circumvent rules or restrictions. Characters gain 1 feat at the 1st level and every 2 levels thereafter. Humans receive a bonus feat at 1st level. Humans also get the skilled racial feature. Humans gain an additional skill rank at 1st level, and 1 additional rank whenever they gain a level. Humans possess exceptional drive and a great capacity to endure and expand, and as such, are currently the dominant race in the world. Their empires and nations are vast, sprawling things, and the citizens of these societies carve names for themselves with the strength of their sword arms and the power of their spells. Humanity is best characterized by its tumultuousness and diversity. Human cultures run the gamut from savage but honorable tribes to decadent, devil-worshipping noble families in the most cosmopolitan cities. Human curiosity and ambition often triumph over their predilection for a sedentary lifestyle, and many leave their homes to explore the innumerable forgotten corners of the world, or lead mighty armies to conquer their neighbors, simply because they can. The physical characteristics of humans are as varied as the world's climes, from the dark-skinned tribesmen of the southern continents to the pale and barbaric raiders of the northern lands. Humans possess a wide variety of skin colors, body types, and facial features. Generally speaking, human skin color assumes a darker hue the closer to the equator they live. Our background will be Lumberjack. Lumberjack adds athletics to the list of her class skills. She also becomes proficient with hand axes, battle axes, and great axes, and gets a +1 bonus on fortitude saving throws. A lot of this is redundant. As a fighter, we already have athletics as one of our class skills, and we're already proficient with hand axes, battle axes, and great axes. But if the character already has the class skill, weapon proficiency, or armor proficiency granted by the selected background from her class during character creation, then the corresponding bonuses from the background change to a +1 competence bonus in case of skills, a +1 enhancement bonus in case of weapon proficiency, and a -1 armor check penalty reduction in case of armor proficiency. We're going to start off a little bit better at everything right out the gate. This +1 enhancement bonus will quickly be overruled if we find any magic weaponry, but at level 1 it'll come in handy. Alright, so our attributes. Strength is the most important one for our build. I'll put 3 points into Constitution for 13, and 14 into Charisma. But first off, let's go and read everything. So Strength measures muscle and physical power. It affects your melee attack rolls, damage rolls when using melee weapons or thrown weapons, and your athletics skill checks. Most builds of fighters, barbarians, and cavaliers require high strength. Strength also sets the maximum amount of weight your character can carry. Dexterity measures agility, reflexes, and balance. It affects your range attack rolls, including those for attacks made with bows, crossbows, throwing axes, and many ranged spell attacks like Scorching Ray. It affects your armor class, provided that current bonus is not limited by the armor's maximum dexterity bonus. Your reflex saving throws, avoiding fireballs and other attacks that you can escape by moving quickly. Your trickery, mobility, and stealth skill checks. This ability is vital for characters seeking to excel with ranged weapons, such as the bow. Most builds of rogues, slayers, hunters, monks, and rangers require high dexterity. Constitution. A constitution bonus increases a character's hit points, so the ability is important for all classes. It affects your fortitude saving throws for resisting death effects, poison, disease, and similar threats. Your hit points your characters get when they gain a level. If the character's constitution score changes enough to alter their constitution modifier, the character's hit points also increase or decrease accordingly. Intelligence determines how well your character learns and reasons. Animal companions require intelligence score 3 to gain access to many new feats. It affects the number of skill points gained each level, that your character always gets at least 1 skill point per level, and your knowledge arcana and knowledge world checks. Alchemists, arcanists, witches, magi or magi, and wizards gain bonus spells based on their intelligence score. The minimum intelligence score needed to cast their spells is 10 plus the spell's level. That's not relevant to us since we're not a caster. Wisdom describes a character's willpower, common sense, awareness, and intuition. You want your character to have acute senses, but a high score in wisdom. It affects your will saving throws for negating the effects of charm, person, and other spells, your perception, lore nature, and lore religion skill checks. Clerics, druids, inquisitors, war priests, hunters, shamans, and rangers get bonus spells based on their wisdom scores. The minimum wisdom score needed to cast their spell is 10 plus the spell's level. Again, not relevant to us. Charisma measures a character's power of personality, personal magnetism, ability to lead, and appearance. It affects your persuasion and use magic device skill checks, and channel energy DCs for clerics and paladins attempting to harm undead foes. Bards, paladins, blood ragers, oracles, scalds, and sorcerers gain a number of bonus spells based on their charisma scores. The minimum charisma score needed to cast their spells 10 yet. Same as the other ones, not relevant to us. Alright, so first up, athletics. This skill depends on strength ability score. Armor penalties apply to this skill check. Athletics represents the character's talent at deeds of physical prowess, such as leaping or scaling walls. It affects your ability to move heavy objects, climb obstacles, and jump. I'll put a point into that. Mobility. This skill depends on dexterity ability score. Armor penalties apply to this skill check. Mobility represents character's talent for balance and coordination, including aerial maneuvers, gymnastics, and tumbling. It allows you to move past opponents without provoking attacks of opportunity, squeezing through tight spots, and climbing and jumping. Trickery. This skill depends on dexterity ability score. This skill cannot be used if your character is not trained in it. Armor penalties apply to this skill check. Trickery represents character's talent Trickery represents character's talent to perform tasks that require fine manipulation. It allows you to disarm traps or devices, open locks on doors and chests. Stealth. This skill depends on dexterity ability score. Armor penalties apply to this skill check. Stealth represents character's talent at avoiding detection, allowing the character to slip past foes or strike from an unseen position. It allows you to avoid random encounters on the global map or during rest, and to move past enemies without them noticing. Knowledge Arcana relies on intelligence. So Knowledge Arcana represents character's knowledge about spells, magic items, and numerous bits of magical lore. Allows you to describe arcane spell scrolls during camping, identify magic items, and learn spells from spellbooks and scrolls. Knowledge World relies on intelligence. Represents character's knowledge about people, systems that make civilizations run, historical events that made societies what they are today. It allows you to brew potions during camping, decipher writing on foreign languages, recall knowledge about geography, history, locales, or nobility. Lore nature depends on wisdom. It represents the character's knowledge about the natural world, the ability to command and train wild creatures. It allows you to recall knowledge about dungeons or nature, delay fatigue while traveling on the world map. Lore religion depends on wisdom. It represents the character's knowledge about the secrets of deities, holy lore, and extraplanar realms. It allows you to describe divine spell scrolls during camping, gives an ability to cure a disease, and recall knowledge about the planes or religions. Perception relies on wisdom. Perception represents character's acuity of your senses, allows you to notice fine details, see danger coming, and tell if people are behaving suspiciously. It allows you to notice traps and hidden objects, and determine your chances to not be surprised in case of a sudden attack on your camp. Persuasion relies on charisma, represents your character's talent to manipulate other people through negotiation, deceit, or intimidation. It allows you to change others' attitudes or opinions. Put a point into that. Actually meant to put a point into this up here. Alright, use magic device. Also relies on charisma. Use magic device skill represents character's talent at activating magic items, even if you're not otherwise trained in their use. It allows you to activate wands and scrolls that you would normally be unable to use. So I will say that optimally, I would take this point out of Knowledge Arcana and put it in Use Magic Device. That'll allow my fighter to use wands and scrolls if my wizard goes down or something like that. Roleplay wise, I like Knowledge Arcana, since my character is most likely raised by a draconic blooded sorcerer of some kind. I feel like you should have some Knowledge Arcana. But again, if you're trying to optimize, put that point to Use Magic Device. It's far better. Alright, so feats. I'm going to select Weapon Focus. I'm a little hesitant to do so because I don't know what weapons are actually going to be represented in the DLC. But it's a risk I'm willing to take. So Weapon Focus. Choose one type of weapon. You can also choose Unarmed Strike, or if you're a spellcaster, melee or ranged touch attack, as your weapon for the purposes of this feat. The benefit is you gain a +1 bonus on all attack rolls you make using the selected weapon. You can also gain this feat multiple times. Its effects do not stack. Each time you take the feat, it applies to a new type of weapon. It's fine, we're only going to take it the one time for Battle Axe. And then our second feat will be... let's go ahead and type that in. Power Attack. You can choose to take a -1 penalty on all melee attack rolls and combat maneuver checks to gain a +2 bonus on all melee damage rolls, which we're negating with our Weapon Focus feat. This bonus of damage is increased by half, plus 50% if you're making an attack with a two-handed weapon, one-handed weapon using two hands, or a primary natural weapon that adds 1 to half times your strength modifier on damage rolls. We're not using any of that. This bonus of damage is halved, minus 50%. You're making an attack with an offhand weapon or a secondary natural weapon. We're not doing that either. When your base attack bonus reaches +4, and every 4 points thereafter, the penalty increases by -1, and the bonus to damage increases by +2. The effects of this feat last until your next turn. Bonus damage does not apply to touch attacks or effects that do not deal hit point damage. Alright, now Draconic Bloodline. I was split between copper and brass. I'm going to go with copper, because it's one of my favorite colors. So, Draconic Bloodline Copper will give us Energy type Acid. At level 3, we get Draconic Defenses. At 3rd level, a Dragonheir Scion gains a +1 natural armor bonus to armor class and energy resistance 5 against their energy type, which for us is Acid. At 7th level, this increases to a +2 natural armor bonus and energy resistance 10. At 13th level, it increases to a +3 natural armor bonus and energy resistance 20. At level 4, we get Draconic Strike. At 4th level, whenever the Dragonheir Scion damages a target with an attack augmented by Arcane Strike, the attack deals an additional 1d4 points of damage of the Dragonheir Scion energy type, which again will be Acid for us. At 15th level, we get Wings. You gain a pair of wings that grant a +3 dodge bonus to armor class against melee attacks, and an immunity to ground-based effects, such as difficult terrain. At level 20, we get Might of Worms. At 20th level, a Dragonheir Scion's Draconic Heritage becomes manifest. She gains immunity to paralysis, sleep, and damage of her energy type, as well as Blind Sense with a range of 60 feet. Alright, and our deity will be Aristul, as the lumberjack from the forest. Aristul, also known as Old Deadeye and the Stag God, is one of the oldest human gods still worshipped in the Inner Sea region, and is concerned with family, farming, hunting, and trade. During the Age of Creation, Aristul was among the gods who battled Rovagug when he sought to destroy Golarion. They were eventually able to contain him in the Dead Vault at the planet's core. His religion dates back to before the Age of Darkness, when small farming communities and hunter-gatherers prayed to him for bountiful harvests and successful hunts. Legends claim that it was old Deity himself who crafted the first bow and gifted it to humans to overcome the challenges of the world. Even as the accomplishments of civilization mount, Air still continues to embrace and represent the simpler pleasures life has to offer. His domains include animal, community, good, law, and plant. His favorite weapon is the longbow. We're going to be neutral good here. I'm going to stick with this body type. I'm going to go for more... I've already mapped all this out, so they go through and find the ones I had chosen. With like that burn mark on the side of his face. Gonna keep this hairstyle, this beard, and we're gonna go for the more copper colored hair color and no war paint. I'm gonna choose a tattoo real quick. Also give it the copper coloration. Then as a lumberjack, I'm gonna go with more earthly hues for his clothes. Actually, I like that. The red with the green looks really good. Yeah, I'll keep that as is. I think that looks really good.
Their life ends here. Let's shake a leg.
Let us press on.
This is my path.
Everyone counts on me.
I lead.
Calm down. Not dead yet.
Damn it all. Are you still here?
Combat is adjourned.
I shall not falter.
You're done for.
I feel faint. The path is clear.
Yeah, I'll choose reserved for this. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Don Bunyan, which is a reference to Paul Bunyan. Our background is lumberjack. That's where I'm pulling inspiration from. And Paul Bunyan's birthday, I believe, is 12/2. February 12th. In, the real world, so this is the matching date.
Enemy near.
Alright, here's our character. Don Bunyan, the Dragonheir Scion. Ready to rock and roll. That's going to do it for this episode. In the next one, we will proceed into the campaign and see how this character fares in the new adventure. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.